We are at our friend's lake place again, and we're doing a project for them. They were kind enough to let us stay in their house to self-quarantine when we got back from the trail, and they needed a ceiling put in their bunkhouse. So this weekend we're putting a ceiling in their bunkhouse. So come along here and have a look. We started this yesterday. We've got all the, there's no lights in here, we've cut the power to it.
Right.
So they had run power previously down to outlets. So the wires got all pulled. Sherry's dad's here helping us. He came in and pulled all the wires yesterday. We've got all these rafters up here, or the joists rather, up here. Got all those done yesterday afternoon. They are just set in place. Today we're going to nail them in so that they are set. Sherry's dad's going to reroute the wiring to all the outlets, and then we're going to go pick up some plywood, get some plywood, and put a ceiling on in here. So again, didn't do this yesterday, totally forgot, but that's our project for the weekend. Getting into a little construction. So we'll show you the progress as we go. I gotta make sure it's square. That looks good.
Dad's running some wire. Rerouting some wire, I should say.
We have to take the wire down.
Rerouting.
Yeah, I take the wire back so we can get those joists in.
It's gonna work.
Making some progress. We've got all of the joists nailed in, they're tight. And we're starting to do our spacers here. These two here will be for one piece of plywood, 8 foot, and then there's going to be a small 2 foot right there. And then this side we're offsetting them. Here's the spacers to be able to nail in the other 2 foot there. We'll just continue doing that, alternating back and forth as we move down. Then we'll be ready to hang some plywood. We have to make a parts run real quick. This is where having a big Suburban comes in handy. We've got a 12-foot piece of lumber in here.
Oh yeah.
Plus we've got 4x8 sheets of plywood in here.
Yep.
Insulation batting.
Room to spare.
Plenty of room to spare. Yep. Suburban's like a pickup truck. That's awesome. Alright, we just did a quick parts run back to town to get a few more supplies. We are ready to finish this project. We'll be nearly done by the end of the day today. We're gonna bring some stuff in and get going. I forgot to get some video yesterday when we were finished. We got our first section up here. Let me move this ladder out of the way. We did our first section right here. So we got our plywood ceiling done there. Got some insulation up on top. And today we're gonna finish the ceiling up here. We got our zip walls ready to hold our plywood up so that we can get it screwed in so we don't have to stand there with it balanced on our heads.
Wait a minute.
Ready to roll. We're just trying to figure out some power to get some lights in here.
Access to the attic.
Yeah, we can pull that down now. Perfect. Well, there it is. We've got all the plywood up on the ceiling. We are good. All we've got to do now is paint that and put a little trim up, and we're good. We left a panel here on this end in case anyone needed to get up there to do anything. There's a, you know, they got the porch area here, so there's an open space up there. So if anybody needed to get up there and do anything above that porch, that's accessible. But we are done. Looking good. We'll come back and paint in a day or so and get the trim up and finish the project. But I think we're done for today. We're back at the lake place. We're going to put a coat of paint on the ceiling today. The trim boards were already all painted. So we'll just get 2 coats of paint on the ceiling today. And we'll work on trimming out. We're going to put trim along the edges here. And then everywhere there's a seam, so we've got the 8-foot boards, or 8-foot plywood is going side to side. So every 4 feet on those seams we're going to put a board for trim, and then we'll do a little decorative something to hide these 17-inch sections here. You can see there's a seam here. That's what we're doing. It's going to really brighten it up in here once that ceiling is white. It's going to look great. So we've got everything tarped off. Got some plastic on the window. I should put some plastic over the door just so we don't get anything on the glass or the curtain on the back side of the door. And we'll be ready to go. Sherry's gonna climb up in the loft and start painting the walls. We're not painted back there, so she'll paint the walls and cut in around the edges. Then she'll come back down here, start cutting in the rest of the room, and I'll grab the roller. We have all the trim pieces up on the ceiling. We got Sherry's way here. So we went across, left to right, side to side here with full pieces, and then we filled in the gaps with these little spacers here to cover, you know, where the 8-foot sheet of plywood meets up with the small 18-inch piece. So we've got that on both sides. That's done all the way down. Sherry's going to caulk some seams, and then we'll do some touch-up painting when the caulking dries. But other than that, I think the ceiling's done.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. That's going to make a huge difference in here, just to be able to come in and, you know, grab all your lake gear, you know, your paddles for your kayaks, your life jackets, all your stuff without it being blazing hot in here. It gets really hot in here. So that's it. I think we're good. We'll wait till the caulking and touch-up paint is done, and we'll clean up our tools, and we'll be good. I think I'm going to help Ron with the project when he gets back. He's on his way back from his house in town, so I think we're going to help him with something before we leave today. But other than that, our work here is done. Turned out pretty good.